Have you ever peered into the void of your own sanity, where the fragile veil between reality and madness frays with each unspoken fear, much like a sailor gazing at the endless ocean's depths, whispering of Lovecraft's ancient terrors? Or perhaps you've craved a whisper from the stars, a discordant lullaby that unearths buried horrors, resonating with the fractures in your psyche, as if the cosmos itself were calling your name. Envision the clammy chill of fog seeping through your skin, carrying the faint, acrid tang of ozone mingled with decay, while shadows writhe like living ink across forgotten tomes, each tendril a harbinger of unraveling minds. The first game, not merely a title, but a primordial incantation etched in the ether, a spectral summons from realms beyond, echoing the unspoken pacts you've made with your own demons in the dead of night. Remember those chilling nocturnes that once gripped your soul, the eldritch symphonies of Neon Genesis Evangelion, or the abyssal dread of Berserk, where hope clashed against cosmic indifference? This episode doesn't just evoke them, it conjures their essence anew, a throbbing vein of visceral terror that demands your surrender, as if those nightmares were reborn in your waking hours, beckoning you to descend once more. Can you feel the pull, that inexorable tide drawing you toward the abyss, urging you to witness and wonder what lurks just beyond the screen? In a universe where the mundane bleeds into the eldritch, a digital realm of live streams and virtual veils masking horrors from eons past, mirroring the deceptive facades of our own social scrolls, from viral illusions to historical cults shrouded in mystery, the curtain rises on souls ensnared by ancient whims. Behold Miko Corono, veiled as Necronomico, her youthful frame etched with the invisible scars of loss, driven by a desperate flame to reclaim what the void has stolen, her voice, brought to quivering life by a performance that trembles like a heartbeat in the dark, echoing your own quiet yearnings for connection amid isolation. Mayu lingers as a spectral echo, her essence a pawn in cosmic games, while antagonists like the enigmatic Cthulhu and Hastur loom as inscrutable forces, their designs a labyrinth of manipulation, voiced with a resonant menace that slithers into your ears like forbidden knowledge. Kanna simmers with unspoken grudges, a mirror to rivalries that fester in real-world arenas, from ancient feuds to modern streaming wars, their character designs, vibrant yet distorted, blending cute contours with grotesque undertones, pulling you into a bond where you question. Haven't you felt that same precarious grip on sanity, as if you wandered these virtual halls yourself, hand outstretched toward their fractured dreams? Released on July 8, 2025, this episode orchestrates them in a haunting harmony, each thread converging on the central enigma of survival against the incomprehensible. Don't you ache to join their dance, to touch the untouchable core of their intertwined fates? What if the games we play, those daily gambles with fate, akin to the philosophical riddles of Camus staring into the absurd or the moral voids in Wartime Chronicles, reveal the indifference of the universe, compelling you to confront the cost of clinging to illusions? Here, characters navigate the razor edge of sanity, their unvoiced torments swirling like tempests within, where loneliness manifests as an echoing void in crowded digital spaces, freedom curdles into entrapment, and sacrifice tastes of bitter ink from forbidden pages. Feel their internal fractures, the way doubt coils like tentacles around resolve, reminiscent of those moments in your life when the world tilts, leaving you adrift in questions of identity and inevitability. Doesn't it awaken a primal unease, this probe into cosmic apathy, luring you deeper with reflections that cling like shadows, imploring you to unravel the truths they dare not name? The visuals unfurl like a fevered hallucination, where desaturated voids pierced by lurid neon pulses evoke the chill of a mind unraveling, animation fluid yet jagged, mirroring the grit of sanity's erosion much like the disorienting frames in Perfect Blue or the stark contrasts of historical ghost tales. Dutch tilts warp perceptions, fostering disorientation amid virtual chases, while extreme close-ups capture the sheen of sweat on skin, the flicker of eyes betraying inner chaos, shadows creeping as harbingers of dread, stillness a suffocating hush before eldritch motion erupts in frantic scrambles. The palette, inky blacks bleeding into sickly greens, feels like the clammy grasp of unseen hands, pulling you into the frame as if the fog enveloped your own form. Haven't you sensed that same visual vertigo in life's uncanny valleys, where light and dark conspire to expose the horrors you hide? Some murmur that the exposition weighs heavy, a languid drift through revelations, yet this deliberate unfolding isn't a burden, but a cunning invocation, allowing the dread to seep slowly into your veins like an ancient curse, forging a resonance that haste could never summon, proving that depth in horror isn't obsolete but eternal. Much like how the flame of terror never extinguishes, we must cease deeming such builds outdated, for in this cadence lies the revolution of unrelenting immersion. The soundtrack emerges as a sentient whisper from the beyond, its dissonant chords, and ethereal drones lamenting fractured psyches, a crescendo swelling like a physical constriction around your throat, evoking the haunting scores of Silent Hill or the ominous swells in historical epics of the unknown. A lingering motif of warped strings haunts like a memory refusing to fade, while silences vacuum the air, magnifying the intimacy of a breath held too long or the terror of encroaching madness. Doesn't it resonate within you? These auditory tendrils weaving into your own recollections of fear, as if the notes scored the shadows in your room, compelling you to listen closer. At the nexus, destinies entwine in an inexorable surge, a cataclysm where veiled tensions shatter like fragile sanity. Flash of visceral clarity that reorients the cosmos itself, echoing the gut-wrenching pivots in history's darkest hours or the epiphanies that redefine your path. What enigma of human frailty emerges from the wreckage? What query dangles like a noose, forcing you to grapple with the narrative's abyssal heart, as if you stood there amid the unraveling? Not every nightmare merely beckons. Some ensnare you, threading their eldritch truths through your essence until you're entwined in a tale that demands your gaze to complete its invocation. Are you prepared to plunge into the first game, to savor the acrid bite of madness and the elusive glimmer of defiance, allowing this episode to inscribe its horrors upon your soul? Step across the threshold now, let its cosmic chorus become your own, watch, and emerge forever haunted by the vistas it unveils. Have you ever felt the weight of an unseen gaze, as if the stars themselves whispered secrets too vast for your mortal heart, their cold judgment echoing the dread of standing alone against the infinite, like a lone monk facing the void of an ancient abyss? Or perhaps you've longed for a flicker of defiance, a spark that hums with the forbidden truths buried deep within, trembling like a hymn to the chaos that shaped civilizations lost to time. Imagine the icy prickle of dread crawling up your spine, the faint, sour reek of mildew clinging to ancient stone, while a distant, guttural chant pulses through the air, heavy with the promise of unraveling fates. The Whispering Veil, not just a title, but a spectral incantation, a half-forgotten curse woven into the fabric of existence, beckoning you to peer beyond the fragile curtain of reality, much like the fleeting moments when your own fears whisper truths you dare not face. Recall those haunting tales that seared your soul, the cosmic dread of Serial Experiments Lane or the gnawing terror of Junji Ito's Uzumaki, where the unknown coiled around hope like a serpent. Episode 3 of Necronomico. No cosmic horror show doesn't merely nod to them. It resurrects their primal fear, a living pulse of existential horror that demands you plunge into its depths, as if those nightmares were clawing at your reality, urging you to embrace the chill of the unknown. Can you resist the siren call of this abyss, or will you dive in to uncover what truths lurk within its shadows? In a digital wasteland where virtual streams mask eldritch machinations, reminiscent of the veiled cults of history or the curated facades of modern feeds, the stage is a labyrinth of code and cosmic dread, where every click risks awakening ancient horrors. Here stands Miko Corono, cloaked as Necronomico, her fragile form a vessel for unyielding resolve, her eyes glinting with the haunted glow of one who's glimpsed the void's secrets, voiced by Saori Hayami's quivering cadence that cuts like a blade through fog, drawing you into her trembling defiance as if her fears were your own. Mayu drifts as a fractured echo, her essence tethered to a game she cannot escape, while Cthulhu and Hastur loom as cosmic puppeteers, their voices, deep, resonant, and chilling, evoking the dread of deities from forgotten myths, delivered with a gravitas that slithers into your bones. Kanna burns with a quiet fury, her grudge a mirror to rivalries that fester in your own world, from ancient vendettas to the silent wars of online personas. Their designs, cute yet grotesque, vibrant yet warped, blend the familiar with the alien, pulling you closer as if you could reach out and touch their cursed fates. Released on July 15, 2025, this episode weaves them into a chilling symphony, each a thread in a tapestry of cosmic consequence, resonating with the fragile bonds you forged in your own life. Don't you feel their pull, their wounds whispering to yours, as if you wandered this digital abyss alongside them? What if the truths you cling to, those fragile anchors of self, akin to the existential queries of Sartre or the desperate faiths of history's martyrs, are but illusions, dissolving under the weight of cosmic indifference? This episode delves into the marrow of such questions, where characters grapple with the terror of insignificance, their silent screams echoing like the unvoiced doubts in your darkest nights. Loneliness coils like a fog around their hearts, freedom becomes a trap woven by unseen hands, and sacrifice tastes of dust and despair, each moment a reflection of those times when you've questioned your place in an uncaring universe. Can you feel their dread, their desperate grasp for meaning amid the void, stirring within you a primal urge to confront the same unanswerable truths? The visuals unfold like a waking nightmare, where glitching pixels and writhing shadows dance across a digital void, animated with a dreamlike fluidity that fractures into jagged chaos, evoking the disorienting dread of Akira or the haunted etchings of Geiger's nightmares. Low angles imbue fleeting defiance with towering weight, while Dutch tilts spiral into disorientation, shadows slinking like living entities, pregnant pauses shattered by frenetic motion that mimics a heart racing in terror. The palette, sickly greens bleeding into abyssal blacks, feels like the clammy touch of a forbidden relic, pulling you into the frame as if the cold stone grazed your own skin. Haven't you known moments where reality itself seemed to warp, its colors and angles exposing fears you've long suppressed, urging you to peer deeper into this haunted canvas? Some whisper that the cosmic scope feels overwhelming, a deluge of existential dread. Yet, this very vastness is no flaw, but a masterful invocation, weaving a tapestry of terror that seeps into your soul like an ancient rite, proving that grandeur and horror isn't outdated but eternal. We must cease calling such depth excessive, for in this expanse lies the revolution of existential awe, much like how the flame of fear never truly dies. The soundtrack, a chilling opus by Yuki Kajura, breathes as a malevolent entity, its dissonant choirs and pulsing drones coiling around your senses like a cosmic dirge, evoking the haunting anthems of Madoka Magica or the ominous hymns of forgotten cults. A single, keening note lingers like a memory of lost hope, while silences grip you tighter than sound, amplifying the terror of a whispered revelation or the intimacy of a mind teetering on collapse. Doesn't it stir you? The way these notes weave into your own moments of existential dread, as if the music scored the shadows lurking in your heart. At its core, a cataclysmic convergence erupts, where veiled truths unravel like threads of sanity, a moment so visceral it feels like the cosmos itself shudders, echoing the shattering revelations of history's heresies or the quiet epiphanies that redefine your path. What question lingers in the aftermath, clawing at your mind, demanding you confront the fragility of your own existence? Not every tale invites you to watch. Some summon you, weaving their cosmic horrors into the fabric of your being until you're no longer a spectator, but a participant in a saga that redefines your soul. Are you ready to cross the threshold of the whispering veil, to taste the bitter chill of the void and the faint spark of defiance, and let this episode etch its truths into your marrow? Click watch now, and surrender to the abyss that awaits. Have you ever felt the shiver of a truth too vast to grasp, where the line between your reality and the unknown blurs, like a weary traveler staring into the infinite night, haunted by the same cosmic dread that drove Poe to pen his darkest verses? Or perhaps you've ached for a spark of rebellion, a defiant cry against the void that echoes the silent battles within your own soul, yearning to break free from chains unseen. Picture the metallic tang of fear on your tongue, the air thick with the musty scent of forgotten tomes, as whispers slither through a digital void, each syllable a thread unraveling the fabric of your sanity. The Crimson Pact, not merely a title, but a blood-soaked vow etched in the stars, a secret that claws at the edges of your consciousness, much like the fleeting pacts you've made with your own desires in moments of quiet desperation. Recall those haunting sagas that gripped your heart, the eldritch terror of Evangelion or the suffocating dread of Hellstar Ramina, where humanity teetered against the incomprehensible. Episode 4 of Necronomico. No cosmic horror show doesn't just echo them, it breathes their essence anew, a pulsing, visceral nightmare that demands you surrender to its chilling embrace, as if those ancient fears were reborn in your very breath. Can you resist the pull of this cosmic tide, or will you dive into its depths to uncover the truths it guards? In a realm where virtual streams veil horrors older than time itself, mirroring the deceptive masks of history's secret societies or the curated illusions of your own digital feeds, the stage is a fractured mosaic of code and chaos, where every choice risks awakening an ancient malice. Miko Corono, as Necronomico, stands defiant, her delicate frame a crucible for unyielding will, her eyes burning with the fevered glow of one who's tasted the void's bitter truths, voiced by Saori Hayami's trembling ferocity that slices through the silence like a prayer, binding you to her desperate resolve as if her fight were yours. Mayu flickers like a ghost in the machine, her essence a fragile thread in a cosmic tapestry, while Cthulhu and Hastur loom as architects of dread, their voices, deep and resonant as forgotten bells, evoking the terror of deities from ancient lore, delivered with a weight that burrows into your core. Kanna smolders with a grudge that mirrors the rivalries burning in your own world, from historical betrayals to the silent wars of online egos, their designs, vibrant yet grotesque, blending kawaii charm with alien menace, drawing you closer, as if you could touch the cursed pulse of their fates. Released on July 22, 2025, this episode orchestrates them in a haunting crescendo, each a note in a symphony of dread, resonating with the fragile bonds you've forged in your own life. Don't you feel their torment calling to you, their scars whispering to yours, as if you stood beside them in this digital abyss. What if the pacts you've made, with others, with yourself, were but offerings to an uncaring cosmos, their weight echoing the existential dread of Kafka's trials or the sacrificial altars of ancient rites? This episode plunges into the heart of such questions, where characters wrestle with the cost of defiance, their silent screams rippling like waves in a starless sea. Loneliness cloaks them like a shroud, freedom twists into chains forged by fate, and sacrifice burns like ash in the throat, each moment a mirror to those times when you've faced the void of your own purpose. Can you feel their anguish, their desperate grasp for meaning against an indifferent universe, stirring within you a primal need to confront the same unyielding truths? The visuals erupt like a fevered vision, where glitching streams and writhing tentacles coil across a digital abyss, animated with a fluid terror that fractures into jagged panic, evoking the disorienting dread of Paranoia Agent or the surreal horrors of Bosch's infernal canvases. Low angles lend towering menace to fleeting acts of defiance, while Dutch tilts spiral into chaos, shadows pulsing like living veins, stillness a suffocating pause before motion explodes in desperate scrambles. The palette, crimson streaks bleeding into inky voids, feels like the heat of a wound against the chill of eternity, pulling you into the frame as if the cold grip of code clasped your own wrist. Haven't you known moments where the world warped, its hues and angles bearing fears you've buried deep, urging you to peer into this haunted tableau? Some murmur that the narrative's density feels labyrinthine, a tangle of cosmic threads. Yet, this intricate weave is no flaw, but a masterful conjuring, each layer a spell that binds you deeper to the terror, proving that complexity in horror isn't outdated but eternal. We must cease calling such depth a burden, for in this labyrinth lies the revolution of existential dread, much like how the flame of fear never truly fades. The soundtrack, a malevolent opus by Yuki Kajura, slithers as a living force, its dissonant chants and throbbing drones wrapping around your senses like a cosmic noose, evoking the haunting melodies of Fate/Zero or the ominous hymns of forgotten rituals. A single, mournful chord lingers like a wound that won't heal, while silences choke the air, amplifying the terror of a whispered pact or the intimacy of a mind unraveling. Doesn't it grip you? The way these notes weave into your own moments of dread, as if the music scored the shadows lurking in your soul? At its heart, a cataclysmic rift tears open, where pacts forged in desperation shatter like fragile stars, a moment so raw it feels like the universe itself recoils, echoing the shattering. Betrayals of history's darkest hours or the quiet revelations that reshape your path? What truth lies bleeding in the aftermath? What question claws at your mind, demanding you face the frailty of your own resolve? Not every nightmare merely beckons. Some bind you, weaving their cosmic horrors into the marrow of your being until you're no longer a watcher, but a witness to a saga that redefines your essence. Are you ready to step into the crimson haze of the Crimson Pact, to taste the bitter sting of betrayal and the faint pulse of defiance, and let this episode carve its truths into your soul? Click watch now, and let the abyss claim you.